What's up, Dosters? Dabinates. So once again, we're here again to talk about the receivers dynasty rankings. Early as hell. Dynasty rankings for receivers this year, going into 2026, and comparing them to our list before the year, just before the year. And then we're also going to go over the AFC quarterbacks, like what they should do from a franchise standpoint, what they should do from a dynasty standpoint. Also, I'm going to put the link inside the description, but join our league whenever you get a chance. And then I want 14 teams, and then I'll kind of go over the rules. We have 6 months. But I want to make good guidelines and everything, and then make sure that we have everything set. The scoring is pretty set. Once again, if you have any recommendations or don't like something about the scoring, just let us know in the comments, and then we can talk about it and see what works best. We kind of went with more of a like specific yards and whatnot for specific positions, so that like the elite really stand out and get you more points. And then also tight ends need to catch up, so we put tight end premium, extra premium, 1.25 points instead of the normal one. Other than that, I'll get started with the receivers. So my top, I'm going to go with the five first, just like we did last week. So now I feel like it's going to go Jamar Chase, Puka Nakua, JSN, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Malik Neighbors.
All right. We basically have kind of the same people. I have Puka at first, then Jamar Chase, which I believe you said Chase Brown.
Oh, sorry, Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
At 1.
3, I got Malik Neighbors. 4, I got JSN, and 5, I got Justin Jefferson.
Nice. All right. And then finish off the list. At 6, I got Justin Jefferson. At 7, I got CeeDee Lamb. At 8, I got Garrett Wilson. At 9, I went kind of for a homer, Marvin Harrison Jr. I still think he's going to be good despite the drops, despite him not, living up to the major expectations that everybody expected from him. And I still think it's Kyler Murray's fault. So I think they get in a new quarterback in there, whoever it is. Right now, I just think anybody's better than Kyler Murray at this point. And then finally, 10, went for my homer, Rome Odunze at number 10.
All right, well, 2 of those guys are on my honorable mentions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyways, 6, I have St. Brown. 7, I have CeeDee Lamb. 8, I did go Drake London. 9, I have Garrett Wilson. And 10, I was going to keep him off the list, but I did just put Brian Thomas Jr. just because of the injuries. And he had a little bit of a down year, but it's kind of hard just to drop him off that quickly just from his rookie year. For his rookie year, he had 87 catches, 1,282 yards, and 10 touchdowns. This might not be what's happening, but at least me watching some of the early Jaguar games, I felt like Travis Hunter was kind of like force-fed plays, and it kind of just messed up their offense. But
I can see that.
But we'll see. We'll see how it starts for the beginning of next year. But as of now, I just have Brian Thomas Jr. at 10. But yeah, a lot of my honorable mentions, I do have both of the rookie receivers, Mbuka and Ted McMillan. Rome, I did put Nico Collins on there just because he's still pretty. He does get like a lot of catches and he has explosive plays.
For sure.
But honestly, there's just a lot of kind of top tier receivers.
Exactly.
Like there's a lot of people I didn't even mention, like Higgins or AJ Brown, or we'll see what even like Tyreek Hill when he comes back if he's still explosive.
Mm-hmm.
So receivers always, it's a very deep pool.
Yeah, for sure. You can't go wrong with those. Did you have a list of last year that you did for receivers?
I have it, but I just have to shift through. Sure. All right, so my top 10 last year was Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson 1 and 2. Malik Neighbors was 3, so he kind of stayed the same for me. I know he was injured, but I just feel like he was very explosive without a quarterback when he did play. Yeah. And we'll see what him and Jackson Dart can do. Mm-hmm. And plus, obviously, the youth and the big playability. Yeah. So let's see. That's 1, 2, 3. I had CeeDee Lamb at 4, Puka at 5, so he jumped up 5 spots on my list. Brian Thomas Jr. was my 6th receiver. St. Brown was my 7th. Nico was my 8th. Drake London was 9. He stayed the same, ironically. And JSN was 10, so he shot up quite a bit.
So for last year, and I'm just going to go off on a spell, let me cook. So one had last year Jamar Chase, and then Justin Jefferson, then Malik Neighbors, then Puka Nakua, then CeeDee Lamb, then Amon-Ra. Then Drake London, Brian Thomas Jr., Garrett Wilson, and Marvin Harrison Jr. So let's see, big playability. So the one that stands out, I wrote down other targets. So Jamar Chase had 175 targets, and you had 5 games over 20.40 points, 20.40 points plus one 30-plus point game. Justin Jefferson, he had 130 targets. He didn't actually miss a game this year. I didn't notice that. I thought
he just wasn't getting targets.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't.
Well, he got targets. He just didn't get receptions.
I didn't watch a lot of Vikings game. I don't know if it was him like giving up on routes or something, or
he doesn't seem like the type of.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's just.
He got frustrated.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
His quarterback play was pretty subpar this year.
I guess the only good thing is he had 8 games over 10 points, and then no 20-point games though. So half his games.
Only 2 touchdowns for the year, I believe. Yeah, 2 touchdowns for the year.
Malik Neighbors only played 4 games. He had 35 targets and 133.20-point game. Puka Nacua, he only missed 1 game. He had 155 targets. He had 5 games over 23.40 points, 132.20 game, and 140.58 game. So 7 games over that 20 mark.
I could add a couple of facts to that too.
Go ahead.
In his first 3 years, he had the 2nd most receiving yards of all time. Justin Jefferson is first with quite a bit of yards. Actually, I think he has like 400 more. And he is also the fastest wide receiver to reach 300 receptions, and he got it in 43 games. And he had 80 first downs this year.
43 to 30, it's about almost 7.5 receptions a game. That's crazy. All right. CeeDee Lamb, he missed 3 games. He had 116 targets, 120.70 game, and only 1 game under 10.20 points. Amon-Ra had 157 targets. He had 4 games over 22.50 and 2 34-plus games. Drake London missed 5 games. He had 104 targets. He had 4 games over 21.10 points and 134-point game. So a lot of these guys are getting, 5, 6 games over the 30 point, or 20 points, which is what you want from your receivers. Those extra, 30 and 40 point games are just icing on the cake. And that's what I kind of believe that you should go for, like in the early rounds to get those, they might not be, consistent like JSN, where they're getting, let's see, I didn't write down, but they were getting obviously over, he was getting obviously over in double digits every single game, but he was, slightly missing those 30-point games. Maybe 1 compared to, a couple other receivers that had 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think he had the most like 40-yard plays. He had 8 for the year.
That's pretty good. Anybody else like close? I see a lot of 4s. Oh, there's a 5.
Nico Collins and Alec Pierce are 5. Well, 2 are from this week.
Yeah.
Jameson Williams has 5 as well.
That's expected. And then Zay Flowers had 2 yesterday.
Yeah.
Inflation. All right, so back to, I was on Drake London. Anyway, he had 104 targets, 4 games over 21 points, and 1 34-point game. Brian Thomas Jr. missed 3 games. He only had 86 targets this year, 0 20-point games, and only 4 games over 10 points. That's terrible. That's why I took him off my list, basically, essentially. I'm not saying that he can't come back and have a great season, but I don't know if I'm going to pick. I would definitely pick Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison, CeeDee Lamb, Rome Odunze over him if I was picking. Yeah, he missed 5 games, I think. Garrett Wilson, he missed 9 games. He had 59 targets. He had 0 games over 20 points, but he only had 2 games under, looks like 16 points, which is really good. Yeah. And then Marvin Harrison Jr., he missed 4 games. He had 73 targets, 0 20-point games, but only 5 games. That's not good. Only 5 games over 11.20 points. So that's just kind of how I kind of based everything. Still taking Chase's top dog. Puka Nacua is fine pick too. I think I just like the explosiveness of like he could just get like a 90-yard bomb, and Puka is more of like he's going to catch like 15 balls. So I guess I would take the yards over receptions, but
that's 15 points right there.
It is 15 points, especially in our league because you're doing PPR. And then JSN, he's I just couldn't put him over Jamar Chase or Puka Nacua. I think he's probably going to be the most, consistent out of all of them. Always get you 15 plus points every game. And then Amon Ross the same way. And then Malik Neighbors has the big play ability. Justin Jefferson is Justin Jefferson. It's hard that I even put him like under top 5.
Yeah, I put him at 5, and I was going to put St. Brown above him, but I felt like it was almost too disrespectful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't disrespect Jettis, especially because he's going to play us next year. And then CD Lamb, he's always good for big plays. Garrett Wilson, I feel like hasn't reached his peak yet. And obviously, they're going to pick a quarterback this year or sign one or do something with a quarterback. I don't think they're going to go Brandon Cooks. Is that me?
Brady Cook.
Brady Cook. Yeah, I don't think they're going to go with
Missouri
or Justin Fields or insert random quarterback here. And then, like I said, MHJ and Roma Dunze is more of shot in the dark, and I'm willing to take the risk because I think that they'll kill it. Go ahead.
We're going to the quarterbacks now.
Yeah, so my friend found his list from the last time. He's going to compare them real quick.
Yeah. So I'll just do a quick run through for my top 10 quarterbacks of next year. I did Josh Allen, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, Lamar, Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Jackson Dart, and Jalen Hurts at 10. Honestly, I mean, people have shuffled around, but there's only 2 people new to the list, which was Jackson Dart and Justin Herbert. Last year, I had Josh Allen at 1, Jaden Daniels at 2, so he took a 1 slot fall. I did have Lamar at 3, so he dropped a little bit. Joe Burrow, I believe, is about the same. Yep, Joe Burrow still at 4. I have Jalen Hurts at 5 from last year, so he dropped 5 spots. Patrick Mahomes at 6 off the list only because of the injury and when he can actually play. Bo Nix, I believe, was the same, weirdly. Oh, no, he went up 1 spot. So Bo Nix on the 25 list, I had at 7, and I don't know, he went down 1 spot, sorry. So in our 25 list, I had him at 7, and then he went down to 8. Caleb went up 1 spot, so they kind of just switched. So Caleb was 8 last year, and he's 7 this year. And my 9th one was Drake May, and I did not have a 10th one on here.
Is it Drake May guy?
I'm a Drake May guy. Well, he jumped up. He jumped up 9 to 2. All right, and what was the last thing we were going to do? The AFC quarterbacks.
That and your running backs. Did you get a list of your running backs?
Comparing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was that one. All right, yeah, I'll just go through my running backs as well. All right, so for our current list in 2026, I have Bijan, Gibbs, A-Chain, Hampton, Genty, Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, Saquon, Travion Henderson, and CMC. And last year, I have them at Gibbs at 1, Bijan at 2, so those switched. Genty at 3, so he dropped a little bit. Saquon at 4, Omarion at 5, which actually he might be 5th as well. Oh, he went up to 4. Because I'm an Omarion Hampton guy too. Bucky was 6, so he kind of dropped tremendously because I forgot about him.
Yeah.
My running back 7 was A-Chain, so he jumped up quite a bit. Breece Hall was my RB8, and Jonathan Taylor was my RB9. That was the comparison for the running backs since I didn't have my list last week. And we were doing AFC quarterbacks to see what we believe if they're going to kind of go with the new one or they're going to just stay put, fantasy-wise, right?
And from both ways, from dynasty perspective and from like a team perspective.
All right. I guess we'll just start how I wrote it. So we'll just start with the North.
Yep.
Well, obviously, Steelers are probably going to get a quarterback, I assume.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to draft one because I feel like they're afraid to after Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
But they should, unless they're really satisfied with Rodgers and if he comes back. Do you think they're going to sign
Rodgers? I guess it's all up to him if he's going to come back.
That's true. If he comes back, he's not going to allow another quarterback in the room unless it's Brady Cook.
Yeah. I feel like he like he said before the season that this is going to be his last year, but he didn't seem too confident about it. So he might come back for another year. He looks terrible. No offense.
Like physically.
Yeah, like
looks like a
every
older
single
man.
Yeah, every single pass, and they showed the stat last night, but I just noticed it anyway. He's throwing it behind the line all the time, and like I guess he kind of did that when he was with Green Bay, but it wasn't as much.
I think because I've seen him throw the ball pretty far still.
He
Like when he
does.
needs
He
to.
still has.
I don't know
arm.
if it is just a little lacking of arm strength, but I secretly think he just doesn't want to hurt his touchdown to interception ratio.
I can see that. Yeah, but I think it said like it had something crazy 65, 64%, around there for throwing it behind the line or like within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And that's horrendous. No offense, I don't even know how Pittsburgh won that many games.
It's like Bryce Young numbers.
Yeah. So yeah, from a franchise standpoint, I would try to move on from Rodgers, but like it's not really like it's not really like the most needed position, I guess.
Yeah. I think
right now.
Yeah. I was gonna say if like you're trying to trade Rodgers, you're probably getting at most a low third.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And then from a dynasty perspective, you would want to move on from Rodgers.
Yeah.
Get anything you can, even like a fourth round. Like just.
I mean, he's not a bad value if he's playing. He's not a bad value to have on your roster for your like second or third quarterback option. But yeah, if that's your starter going into the league, you should start making some moves.
I think I traded a third for him, like middle of the season because Jane Daniels got hurt and I wanted to make the playoffs, and like even that I felt was too much. Just seeing how he played, like the last 4 or 5 games, like it's just like, why aren't you throwing it? You just throw it underneath, and then like it was stupid things like 3rd down and 4, and he throw it underneath, and they'd be 4th and 2, and it's like, what was the point of that?
Yeah,
there's no point. Like I don't know. Aaron Rodgers is a shell of himself now.
It's 42. So, all right. Next team is the Bengals, which is very interesting just because it's more the route that the Bengals want to choose. If they, there's no like real rumors, but he doesn't seem happy right now. And if he wants to leave, I would still, regardless, I think I would just hold on to Joe Burrow fantasy-wise.
Yeah.
Because he's top 5 quarterback in any type of list.
Yeah, for dynasty-wise, you're not going to get anything that's, unless somebody's willing to overpay for him, which in my opinion, overpaying would be 2 first rounds. If you can't get 2 first rounds for Joe Burrow, because I think that's what his worth would be if he's on the field 17 games out of the year.
Yeah.
He's worth 2 first. So I don't think you're going to get that value, so you might as well keep him. Like he said, if he goes to another team or stays there, it doesn't matter. Like if you can get 2 first rounds, fine. If you can't, then I would just hold off. Or if there's like a player that you really believe in, Brian Thomas, for instance, and they throw him in there, and then like just because he had a bad year, and like you can get rid of Joe Burrow. But other than that, I wouldn't take less than like 2 firsts. From the franchise standpoint, I kind of would want to trade him just because like it's going to piss Jamar Chase off and it's going to piss T. Higgins off, but they already have such a bad defense that I don't think anything can happen good for them.
Yeah, it's the life of the Bengals.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is the Ravens, which is actually another kind of interesting one because there has been rumors where Lamar's been wanting a new contract, and there's people saying like in the facility, but who knows if it's actually true, that they do not want to give him an extension because he's just kind of hit his last extension.
Yeah.
So I guess that is a fantasy perspective that I would trade. I would trade Lamar over Joe Burrow just because the major upside of him. I mean, he's a good passer, but his major upside is him running, and it seems like this year, I wouldn't say he's afraid to run. He might be injured. Maybe he doesn't want to take the hits when he wants to get paid or traded. So I felt like his rushing ability has really dropped this season, and that's basically to me his like best attribute. It makes him the most. When both things are clicking for him, he's probably one of the most dangerous quarterbacks.
Yeah. He also needs another target besides Zay Flowers. I know you're not a Zay Flowers guy, but he's good enough to at least be a number 2, like a Devontae Smith type.
Yeah. Well, I think that's especially if
Mark Andrews is.
Yeah, if that's the route Lamar's going to go, like where he has to rely on his arm over his leg, he needs better pass catchers.
Yeah.
Like Zay Flowers probably shouldn't be your one.
He shouldn't be the one. No, not on that team.
Yeah. But as for the Ravens, I mean, I'd assume they're going to keep him. Like, honestly, I think they might fire their head coach to keep them. And it's nothing that he's done. It's kind of just like a thing with Andy Reid on the Eagles. You were there a long time. Sometimes the voice gets stale. I would always choose the quarterback over the coach, probably.
Yeah.
Especially like an electric quarterback. But yeah, so it'd be very interesting to see what goes on the AFC North because there potentially could be 4 new starting quarterbacks if those 2 get traded, which is very highly unlikely, especially this year, but we'll see. And the last one is the Cleveland Browns. I don't even know what to say about the Browns, honestly, because they're still paying Deshaun.
He has to start that.
Like, I guess just start him, right? Yeah. You're paying him.
You might as well see.
Wasn't too high on
I don't even know what happened to him this year. I know he got injured.
He tore his ACL in preseason.
Oh, okay.
And the only nice thing about what he did was he gave a lot of money back to the franchise. Yeah. So that's also a reason why I think he's going to be starting because he did give back a lot of money of his contract because he missed the year. But anyways, I didn't see too much in Shador for me to. I wouldn't like just bench him. Like if you're not going to start the guy we just talked about, Deshaun Watson. Like if you're not rolling with Deshaun and you want to kind of roll with Shador, still maybe draft or sign a quarterback. But give Shador a couple games next year, see if he can improve. If not, I would just kind of pull the rug on him.
Yeah, because they're not going to have a good record, regardless.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting old on the defense, and that was their only good thing about them was their defense for a long time.
Yes. I mean, the defense is still pretty good.
Yeah, but what's his name? Ward.
Denzel Ward?
Denzel Ward's kind of old now. I think he's 28, 29. He's getting up there. And then their whole defensive line got old. Not that they were helping Myles Garrett too much anyway, but he's 28. That's kind of old for a corner. Like, if you're trying to, win.
Okay. Well, they gave up on that already. They should have traded their pieces like a year or 2 ago.
Yeah. So, the Browns are Brownsing.
All right. Next, we'll go to the South. We're at Houston. I don't think Texans are going to go off with C.J. Stroud.
They shouldn't. Like, I'm not the biggest C.J. Stroud fan, but keep him.
Yeah. And as a fantasy perspective, I think I'd rather hold him than trade him just because I feel like he has more, theoretically, I feel like he has more upside than trade value.
I agree. Yeah.
He's a person I would just hold.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree with both those statements.
And next, Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm 100% sure they're going to stick with Trevor Lawrence because his contract is still hitting pretty hard.
Yeah.
And he's had a very good last 6-7 games. Like,
he honestly had a good year.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Trevor Lawrence fan, but he had a good year. He deserves at least one more year to see if he can get them over that hump. Or let's just see what he does in the playoffs, I guess.
Yeah. But he's a guy maybe fantasy-wise I would trade just because he has had a very good year this year. So maybe trade value-wise is rising more than falling.
Yeah.
Colts are kind of like the Browns. I have no idea what they're going to do.
They got rolling. Danny Dimes, I guess. And then maybe see what Anthony Richardson can do.
Nah.
He's not going to do anything, but...
I'm pretty sure their rookie, Riley Leonard, had a way better game than any of Anthony Richardson's games.
So you're rookie this year?
Yeah. He was from, he transferred to Notre Dame, but he was from Duke. But yeah, he was like a 6th round pick, I think. Okay. So we'll see what they got with him.
Richardson's trash, and nothing's ever going to change my mind. Watching him in Florida, never improved. Never listened to coaches, just kept doing what he kept doing, throwing picks and being an idiot.
And the last one in the South is the Titans. Cam Ward, I felt like had zero help. So
Pollard finally showed up at the end of the year. His last 4 games, he finally had 100-yard rush games. Besides, before that, it was 36, 40, 32. And I was like, what are you doing? How can you not run the ball at least?
But it's very hard to judge for me his value just since how bad the Titans are. So I guess we'll see what direction they go in with the next. Oh, did they sell their GM? I know they fired their coach.
I'm pretty sure they sell their GM.
Anyways, their next regime, we'll see. Hopefully they can help him out a little bit. Because, I mean, watching a few of his games, he had like a few really nice throws a game, but he either had no time, people were dropping it, and sometimes he was just making dumb rookie mistakes.
There was quite a few drops on that team, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I still think he would be worth, I know, probably more, but at least one first rounder. Yeah. I just don't know many people that would give up more than that.
Yeah. I'm on my bench. I'll just wait and see.
He's a guy that's just, sit and wait. Maybe give it another year or two.
Probably 2 years because they need a receiver bad.
Yeah. Maybe they could get AJ Brown back.
Or DJ Moore.
Both. All right. And then next conference, I wrote down the AFC East. This one's pretty easy. Patriots look like they have their guy, sadly, because Patriots had Tom Brady forever. I feel like he'd be a hard piece to trade for, especially in like a super flex or something right now, just because he's had a lot of success. He's could be the MVP of the year. And hopefully the Patriots continue to build around him. So I anticipate him staying, in the top 5 category.
There's another one that needs a receiver, but not necessarily like a free agent, unless Diggs leaves. But I don't think Diggs is leaving, so they kind of need to like draft, like in the second or third round, a receiver.
Well, they did do that the last 2 years. Jalen Polk sucked. And then Kyle Williams kind of had a few touchdowns at the end of the year.
Kyle Williams. Yeah, maybe they see what he does. All right.
Hey, I think they should go out and get Mike Evans if he's a free agent.
Yeah.
Let's get like a big body, older veteran to help the younger guys.
Yeah.
All right. Next, the Dolphins. It's very interesting. I don't think Tua is going to be there next year.
Shouldn't be.
So I don't really have too much to say for fantasy trading wise, unless you're a Quentin Ewers fan. He did okay. Like nothing terrible. I don't know if that's the direction they're going to go with. Maybe they make a play for Lamar or something like that. Yeah. Lamar is from Miami. That's the only reason why I connected it.
Yeah. If I'm Miami, I let McCarthy pick his quarterback.
Is he the coach?
Yeah. Oh, he didn't get fired.
Mike
McDaniel.
McDaniels. Okay.
Yeah. He didn't get fired. I think they fired their GM though.
Yeah, because that's what Troy Aikman's becoming the
The
guy that
GM.
picks the GM for some reason.
Yeah, let's get Troy Aikman.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. The next team is like the Colts and the Browns, the Jets. I have no idea what they're going to do, but they do have 5 first rounders the next 2 years, so they have to nail it because I don't remember what the year was, but I was watching a video of a Jets fan saying this is deja vu and they're going to mess up all 5 draft picks because they had 5 draft picks, first rounders, 12 years ago.
Was it Mark Sanchez?
No, it was before him, I think. And they fucked up the quarterback and they built around that quarterback and then they ended up trading all those picks that were decent players, but their team was pretty bad, so they decided to restart, and this is like their 4th restart in 2 decades.
Poor Jets fans.
Yeah. So I don't know who they will go after. Maybe like Mac. I don't know if they're going to draft someone or try to get a veteran plus draft pick. So maybe they roll the dice on someone like Mac Jones. He had a couple of promising games.
Already at number 3 this year.
I can look it up real quick. If you want to talk about the Jets while I'm looking that up, you can.
Yeah. Let's see. At least they have Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. So if you just get some type of quarterback in there, you can win some ball games. Other than that, you need to go offensive line to protect whatever quarterback you're going to eventually draft or who you're going to draft this year.
They have a second.
Oh, they have a second. Okay. Yeah. I'd assume that they're going to get a quarterback, either Oregon guy or Indiana. Depends. I haven't watched too much tape on any of the quarterbacks yet. I'll do that later. I usually don't do any research until March, April anyway.
I like the Oregon quarterbacks a little bit better. Last one, pretty easy. Bills. Josh Allen, probably the best quarterback in the league.
I would say get that man a quarterback or a receiver, but I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I would probably just still build the defense.
Yeah.
And maybe I would still get him a receiver. I guess you don't have to spend a first round capital on him, but I would still go out and sign one in the free agency.
That'd probably be best if you sign one.
like I don't know. Well,
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, AJ Brown, but we'll see. Josh Allen, he hasn't really showed any production loss. Just a beast. I feel like he would be top notch to trade for. Everybody would want him, so he's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
So good luck trying to trade for him.
Yeah.
Like you would definitely have to overspend
For sure.
All right, and the last conference is the AFC West. Most of these, except one, have a quarterback. So that's the only one, which is going to be like, I'm going to repeat it, like the Browns, the Colts, and the Jets. I don't know what they're doing.
Mhm.
But the Broncos, they have Bo Nix. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he's playing pretty well. 2 years in a row, about the same stats. He's in the playoffs this year, first overall seed. I lost my spot. We're at the Broncos. All right, yeah. I personally wouldn't trade for Bo Nix. If I owned him in a Dynasty League, I would try to get off of him. Not knocking him, I just feel like I can get more value than what I think he's worth.
Yeah.
So I would, if I had him, I would try to, trade him maybe for a weaker quarterback and get some picks, or trade him for a receiver or something like that, just to improve other aspects of my team.
Yeah. I guess so.
And the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, he's still probably the best quarterback. Well, I know I said that about Josh Allen, but Patrick Mahomes is probably the clutchest quarterback, maybe ever.
Yeah.
He's incredibly good.
Yeah.
I wish I had.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I don't think. Well, maybe dynasty wise, I would maybe consider trading him. One, because of the injury, but two, I mean, I don't think his production.
I think that's the worst time to trade him
because
of the injury.
Because it'd be a little bit lower.
Yeah, people will lowball you.
Yeah,
I wouldn't expect anybody to give up too much unless they're like. That wouldn't make any sense either. If they're like, oh, 2 years, I'll be in the championship or whatever.
I guess that's
then you're
true.
wasting picks for nothing.
I guess you just have to, like, especially in super flex league, just find a team with no quarterback, basically.
Or trade him like mid-season next year if he's doing really well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Chiefs aren't going to trade him.
Yeah.
The Chargers, Justin Herbert, my current list, I have him 6th overall, so in my eyes, he's a pretty high target to acquire.
Yeah. You might be able to get him low, or like, not lowball him, but you could probably get him for like less than 2 first. And I think that's really good.
I agree. I think that's like super flex you're talking about, right? Or
anything.
Yeah.
Either super flex or regular, you can get him for less than 2 first.
I wasn't getting any offers close to that in the one quarterback league.
They just don't believe in him. Like, I don't know, just him and like everybody's dropping passes. His 2 tackles were gone.
No, yeah.
Running back got hurt, and he's still putting up these numbers. Like,
and they had a lot of rushing yards.
Yeah, I think Justin Herbert is pretty damn good and pretty underrated.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And he's a young guy. He's always putting up numbers. He has a great arm. He definitely. I mean,
if I need a quarterback in the league, I think I would try him first, just to see where the person who has him is on him.
Well, I only have him in one league. I tried to get him in the super flex last year, but I ended up getting Joe Burrow instead. Didn't work out because he got injured, but this year I got rid of Jalen Hurts. So.
Yeah.
All right, and the last team is like those other 3 that we're talking about with no future at quarterback is the Las Vegas Raiders. Geno Smith is under contract, I know, for 2 more years. Well, I'd assume they'd keep him for 1 more year. They just extended him. I know it's probably not a crazy amount of guaranteed money. But you just extended him. He would be the veteran guy in the locker room. I'd assume they will draft one at 1 overall. And
I don't know.
I would not trade for Geno Smith.
What would you do if you? Well, yeah. What would you do if you were the GM of the Raiders?
I would trade that pick.
Me too.
And probably Max Crosby and get as much as I could.
Me too.
Because their defense sucks. Their offense sucks.
Yeah. You have Genty. You need an offensive line.
Yeah. You have 2 pieces to build around on offense, and that's Brock Bowers and Genty.
Yeah.
And
you're not going to win next year, so you might as well not or what they did this year, lose the game.
I would honestly, I don't know who. I mean, maybe we could do a segment about that some other time. But I would honestly find a team, trade down, try to get in. Maybe not like. I know it's hard to trade for a top tier offensive lineman, but I would get one that's on like an expiring deal that is like a more like upper tier lineman, just so you have someone to actually be an anchor on your line.
But I feel like this draft has a lot of offense linemen, so you can trade down from like 1 to like 5, 1 to like 6, 1 to 7, or whatever. What are Dolphins at? They're like at 11. They might be they might want a quarterback. So like if you do that, then you can get an offense lineman with like the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th pick, and then you can build your team from that.
Dolphins have.
Because then you'll get 2 first-round picks, maybe 3, and then you just go up from there.
It's a weird class because last year everybody was saying like this is going to be the deep quarterback class, and I feel like a lot of them went back to school, or the people that we thought were going to be good is not that good. Dolphins are 11,
yeah. So you try to get with Dolphins, you get 3 first-round picks in return, 1 this year, and you pick an offensive lineman, hopefully a tackle.
Yeah.
One of them will be there, and then you go from there. You'll have extra picks, and then if you want to, you can use it next year for Arch Manning or whoever is going to be that quarterback in 2 years. That's what I would do. But yeah, Max Crosby too. Just because you're pissing them off anyway.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind the Bears trading a first, maybe 2, to get Max Crosby.
Wow.
Well, we need a pass rusher. We don't have a pass rusher. We need one bad. We can't get through the line, and that showed during the San Fran game because both teams just kept on throwing it on each other. And there was no. It was just high scoring.
Is there anything else you want to go over?
No, I think that's it. Like I said, I'll put the link in there. Join whenever. I'm not going to make you pay yet. I'll go over the rules and everything, and then like if you drop, you drop. Whatever. Look at our scoring, and then let us know some recommendations if you are looking to stay, and then we can talk about it on here. Anything else to add? Peace out, y'all. Thanks for listening. You'll get my picks on Saturday because the over-unders are actually already established instead of, week 17, 18, who's starting because who's sitting and, all those. Actually, a couple of them, Nico Collins was on one. It's like, oh, yeah, he's going to play. And then like 15 minutes before the game, he didn't play. And then I got like a little X on it on my over-unders. I was like, what am I supposed to do? But yeah, keep in touch for that. Peace out.